The traditional middle layer of our economy, the comfortable space where most mid-level businesses and careers exist, is collapsing under the pressure of automation. Gary Vaynerchuk, an entrepreneur who predicted the rise of the creator economy in TikTok, argues that we are entering a period of total economic polarization. We are moving into a barbell economy. On one extreme, you have the superscalers, a tiny handful of tech giants like Meta, Microsoft, and Google, absorbing billions in data infrastructure and proprietary hardware. On the exact opposite end, you have individuals, solo operators using AI to build highly profitable, hyper-niche mini-businesses, generating what Vaynerchuk calls hyper-micro wealth. If you aren't an agile micro-creator and you aren't a trillion-dollar tech giant, you are caught in the middle. And that middle is becoming a vacuum where traditional economic safety nets no longer exist. In the old corporate model, competition was a straightforward math problem of human volume. A company with 400 employees naturally outflanked a competitor with 200. Volume was your shield. AI breaks that math. It weaponizes individual human capacity. A team of 200 workers equipped with the right tools can now generate tens of thousands of assets, instantly outproducing the larger team. Because output is no longer a bottleneck, companies are reclassifying every desk in the building based on one specific metric: creative direction. We are splitting into two stark camps: masons, who manually execute tasks, and architects who design and direct the systems. A mason is a worker whose economic value is tied entirely to completing predictable, functional tasks. Think of a traditional project manager whose primary contribution to a company is sitting in a meeting, taking notes, and organizing a schedule. Because those functions are highly repeatable, they are the first to be absorbed by automated agents that run in the background for pennies. Masons are competing against free labor. An architect operates differently. They abandon the manual execution of tasks. Instead, they spend their time prompting systems, writing instructions, and directing a team of specialized AI agents to do the heavy lifting. Rather than asking for a salary to solve a problem manually, an architect uses AI to build a $5 a month app that solves a tiny, ignored consumer pain point at scale. They survive by generating hyper-micro wealth. When anyone can generate unlimited digital content for free, the market value of that content drops to zero. AI can flood the internet with noise, but it cannot determine what is actually meaningful to a human being today. This creates a new premium on cultural relevance. Because AI is trained on historical data, it struggles to predict the vibe of the current moment. The architect survives by becoming a cultural anthropologist, the person who identifies the signal humans care about before the machines catch up. By tracking highly specific microtrends, like the exact moment baggy pants transition from a niche street-style choice to a mass-market requirement, the architect provides the human context that makes an AI-generated campaign actually work. This leads to the architect's second major pivot, doubling down on the physical analog world. Analog value lives in unfalsifiable brand arcutation, real-life human experiences, and physical spaces like pop-up shops or restaurants, things an algorithm cannot simulate. While masons are trapped at their desks trying to outproduce AI on a screen, true architects are building value in physical reality and human culture that cannot be copied by a machine. Transitioning from a mason to an architect requires a specific psychological blueprint. It is what Vaynerchuk calls the immigrant framework. Step 1 is self-awareness. You have to strip away your corporate titles and figure out what your actual core human skills are, completely isolated from your current job description. Step 2 is humility. Just like engineers from the Soviet Union who arrived in America and took jobs cleaning floors, you have to drop your ego entirely. You must accept starting from the absolute bottom in a world where your previous tools no longer apply. Step 3 is curiosity. Instead of using all your leisure time to escape a stressful work week, you use those off hours to actively tinker with new AI tools. Surviving this shift doesn't require a background in coding. It exclusively requires the psychological resilience and adaptability of an immigrant arriving in a country where they don't yet speak the language. The widespread panic over AI is frequently just disguised ego and personal insecurity. The antidote to that anxiety is practical optimism. You have to detach your personal self-worth from your immediate economic results or your current title. Technological terror is a historical cycle. We were terrified of electricity, and we were terrified of leaving agricultural farms. Historically, betting on cynicism has always been a losing strategy. There is a logical failsafe here. If AI truly destroys everything, pessimism won't save anyone. But if it doesn't, practical optimism is the only stance that actually prepares you to adapt and win. You control your own algorithm. Choosing offense and optimism is the final, essential step to becoming an architect. If you find this valuable, please make sure to follow and subscribe. Rise, raise.